solve this very common SQL interview question around cumulative sum. Let's see what the question is. Given the table transaction, write a query to find the cumulative sum of revenue. This is the query, this is the question that we have. So we are given two columns, ID and revenue, and they have respective values. So for 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, we have corresponding revenue of 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. What we need to do is we need to get another column called as cumulative revenue. For the first row, it will give us 10. For the second row, it is actually doing the sum of 10 plus 20. That is the cumulative sum of the current row along with the previous row. For the third row, if you see, you are doing the summation of 30 plus 20 plus 10. So all the three rows are getting summed up. So you are getting 60. Similarly, for the fourth row, what should be the answer? It should be 40 plus all the previous rows sum, which is 30 plus 20 plus 10 or 60. For the last row, if you see, it will be 50 plus the previous row, which is 100 here, or 40 plus 30 plus 20 plus 10. Okay, that is what cumulative sum. It is a mathematical concept. Where exactly is it used in industry? So for example, I as a YouTuber have just started my channel. Okay, now I would be very interested in seeing how many subscribers do I have, at least when the channel is very new. Rather than the percentage number, I want to see this number also, the whole number also. So whether it is 100 users on the first day, 200 users on the second day, I want to know on the second day what are my total number of users. It is 300 right now. Okay, that is important for the someone who's just starting out his company, his channel, or someone who's just entered on LinkedIn and trying to share posts, right? Getting new followers. Okay, so similarly, whenever a new company launches its app, for them it is very important to measure some metrics. What could be those metrics? The total number of downloads that has happened on every day. Okay, so on first day it was, let's say, 100. On second day it was 200. So cumulatively it is 300 on second day. The total number of downloads that have been done till that day. Okay. Similarly, signups. So you've downloaded app is one thing. Now you are opening the app, you are doing a sign up also for that company. Okay. So those are some of the real cases which we eventually solve, which we try to do through data, plug in and generate some of the insights. Okay, very, very basic overview. Now let's try to write the query and get the answer of this question. So simply, I need to get this column along with the first two columns that I already have. This is what the output table should be. Okay, this is what the output table should be. It should contain all the three columns. So first what I am doing is, from transaction table, I've taken this transaction table I've taken, and I'm selecting ID and revenue column as it is. I'm not doing any change as I need these two columns. And then the interesting part, I am using a Windows function sum over. So what I need to do is I need to do sum of revenue. So I'm doing sum of revenue over. Over means on what we are saying sum of revenue over order by ID. Right here by default it means ascending order. So order by ID. So for the first row, if you see, what ideally happens is, for this row, for this ID, you are seeing that you need to do sum of revenue. So sum of 10, ideally sum of revenue over order by ID. So there is just one row, there is nothing over this ID row here ideally. So it will just give you sum of 10. But for the second row, the interesting thing happens. It is doing sum of, so for this row, right, there is another ID above it, right, over it, right? So you have one also. So there is 1 and 2, exactly what you are understanding how the mathematical concept of cumulative sum is. Okay, so sum of revenue over order by ID. So for 2, it will do summation of 10 plus 20. That is why you are getting 30. Similarly, for 3, it is doing summation of 10 plus 20 plus 30. Why it is doing summation of 10 plus 20 plus 30? For sum of revenue, okay, order by, when ID is 3, right? For ID 3, there is 2 rows above it, and it has to do summation of this row plus the previous 2 rows. That is why we get an answer of 60. I hope this now becomes very, very clear to everyone. Okay. Now at times I have seen candidates making some confusion, and with this answer I think it would be very, very easy for everyone to understand why this is the right solution. Now, there's one more question that I try to give to interviewees, and they at times get confused. Okay, I say that okay, this is the best possible solution that you've given me. This is the best possible solution. Was there a different way of doing it through self-join? I give them a hint. Can you try this question through self-join and see if you could find an answer? Okay, we'll try to solve that in the next video. Just letting you know that this is the best solution through the optimal method. Why I try to ask an interview question that can you try to do it through self-join? Because that will help them understand, that will help me understand as an interviewer whether someone understands how the logic works behind the SQL part. That is very important. Okay, let's try to solve that in the next video itself.